We must change if we're going to have the energy we need.
In the 70s, the 80s, sustainability really wasn't part of the public zeitgeist. So in the 70s, what we really saw was that focus on environmental and trying to use less energy. It was both of your parents saying to, put a jumper on instead of turning the heating on. And then I think what we started to see was the emergence of passive solar thermal design, which was a way of designing new homes that tried to focus on the free heat and cool that was available in the Australian climate.
Every day I send you 1,000 times more power than you use in a year.
In the 90s, gas emerged as the preferred energy choice where possible because it had a lower carbon footprint than grid electricity. It was a bit of a red herring. Gas still burns fossil fuels and it wasn't going to get us to a carbon positive future. So the noughties saw the emergence of an energy rating scheme for homes which looked at how efficient they were to heat and cool. We saw the introduction of the Green Star frameworks. And Green Star was really powerful because it allowed the property industry to market broader sustainability initiatives to customers. There was a real tipping point for solar. So the costs started to come down rapidly. Very, very quickly, solar went from a niche technology to something that was mainstream in Australia.
In 2000, in Australia, we experienced a dramatic drought, which triggered implementing rainwater tanks for irrigation and toilets, and that reduced consumption of potable water. Towards the end of 2000, we saw a transition from incandescent lights to LED lights. In fact, Australia was one of the first countries that officially regulated phasing out manufacturing of energy-hungry incandescent lighting.
The 2010s saw an exciting further broadening of what sustainability meant. We saw sustainability become focused on livability, community. It moved beyond the buildings and it looked at people's lives. What we saw in the 10s was the emergence of prefabrication.
Prefabricated bathrooms were completely finalized in the factory and they were simply delivered on site, all finished.
So we started to see the emergence of a new way of building. It was a more efficient way of building and it's much better from a waste perspective.
Today people are a lot more conscious about sustainability, not only about the positive impacts onto the planet we could have, but also how to mitigate the high cost of living.
We're now designing communities around walkability, access to public transport and general accessibility and community facilities.
A huge part of being able to designing out of waste is the integrated MOVAC model, where construction, design and development all sits together to really understand how do we push further the target of waste reduction.
As an industry leader, we have to do the right thing. It's not just about doing no harm, it's about leaving a positive legacy.
In a world where the cost of energy is so high, I think people really look at the performance of buildings and dwellings.
We're seeing renewable energy come onto the grid in large scale. We're seeing battery storage technologies come onto the market and be commercially viable. We're also seeing the emergence of the smart home, your solar panels to effectively talk to your battery, to talk to your electric car. We're right on the precipice of this amazing technological shift where we can basically power our homes 100% with renewable energy.
What I see for the future of material is really the use of carbon neutral material or material with recycled contents that you could use for walls or facade system.
I actually think this is the most exciting time in history from a sustainability perspective, and honestly can't wait to see what happens over the next 50 years.